Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. I'll bring David Diamond into the picture. I took him out there. There we go. Welcome along to our midweek Q&A show. This is pretty much my favourite show now in the Blue Monday Pantheon because I do absolutely no preparation and you guys set the agenda. So what we want you to do right now, before I even introduce Dave, get the chat full, get questions, get topics in there. I want to know, were you feeling any different after MK in the chat? I want to know what you think about Dobre and a possible loan out. I want to know what you think about AFC Wimbledon at the weekend. I want to know what you think about international postponements or possibilities therein as it pertains to Wycombe. I want to know, Dave, what the chat thinks about Wycombe, Bolton, Lincoln, Sheffield Wednesday. And okay, it gets a bit easy with Doncaster at the end. I want to know what the chat thinks about all of that stuff. Please fill that chat up with questions. We will answer as many as we can, depending on how many come in. We will we'll make our answers the correct length. But here he is. I don't know how to refer to you anymore, Dave. How do I refer to you?
So that's a good thing or a bad thing, really.
I got called, I think Phil on TWTD called me Blue Monday Stalwart.
Yeah, I guess I'd also be considered a stalwart, wouldn't I? Well, surely.
What is a stalwart? It's got wart and stool in.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything to do with the form of war, is it? But yeah, stalwart. So a main stalwart, mainstay, been there since day one type thing. Long serving, dependable.
There we go. Anyway, Dave and I are here. We really, really want you to set the agenda down there in the chat. So get some questions coming in. Let's have a start here. Dan, can we ask questions on here, lads? Yes, do it. And he has come up with a question. If you could strengthen one position in our squad, David, where would it be and why? So one general position, it could be more than one player.
Absolutely centre midfield bruiser ball winner, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we've got enough central midfielders with Harper
and all of the same. A nasty, really nasty player. I said, not say nasty. That sort of type, busy player. I think we've got some quite nice ball players in centre mid. I think certainly in Harper, and I think Evans will be okay. But yeah, that real out and out, up and down type. I think I said on the pod Sunday, a sort of Liam, who's not nasty as such, but that sort of Liam Bridcut type player who'll get his foot in and just set things off from there. I think we're lacking that type of player in the squad. Whether we actually go with that or not, I don't know, but that sort of player, I think.
I was using the facilities, having a pee at Ashton Gate once. Looked to my right, Sean Derry. He was working for Talksport there.
Now he was a mainstay of the QPR side all those years ago with good old Abel Tarat, wasn't he? Which let's face it, could be Kyle Edwards could well be our Abel Tarat, I'd say.
Not convinced by Hladky yet. I'd get another keeper. Hladky comes up a lot. At what point does it become sort of worrying? Because it's difficult not to make an argument that he's not had a good start. We can't say that he'll never come good. What point does it become worrying, Dave?
I think again, Ben, not at this stage. I don't think. I think again we spoke about this previously that he hasn't played in front of the same defence 2 games running yet, has he? So right. I think once you get a settled back 4 in front of him with the same, I guess, personnel, then you would think then he would, things for him will start to improve. He's done okay. I think one of the main things is people have said, well, hang on, has he actually made a save that you wouldn't have expected him to make type sort of thing? And arguably he did make a couple on Saturday. He made a point blank one with his legs, and that Scott Twine, who's just incredible range of shooting, nearly pinged one in a right Ronaldo type dippy swervy thing in the top corner. And to be fair, he was on his toes there and got across well to keep that one out. just disappointing in the free kick. It looked like he should have saved it, but again,
Yeah,
difficult
I
ones.
thought
Again,
so.
it was a sort of it was as if he got one. He got two hands to it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think he could be blamed for any of the Cheltenham goals, really. I know he had a flap early on, but I don't think he really. That was more defensive.
Fair
Those
enough.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Not yet. I'd say
oversold,
not yet is the short answer to that.
Let's say good evening to Rob. Let's say good evening to FPL Tractor. HCH, because I don't want to talk about Cheltenham and you just had one answered. We'll skip over that one nice and quickly, but keep them coming. Guys, I want to know what you think about this run of fixtures as well. Please get involved, particularly if Wycombe doesn't get cancelled. I can see a question about it. Potentially Wycombe, Lincoln, last year's losing playoff finalists. Sheffield Wednesday are top of the league and haven't conceded a goal yet as well. The games get harder now. Any changes for Saturday, DD from FPL Tractor?
God, Saturday.
AFC Wimbledon, who they've got a decent striker called Piggott, who scored a lot of goals for them last season. He's the main threat.
No, I don't think so, Ben. I mean, I'd go with what we have at the moment. I think people have been perhaps calling out Wolfenden. I thought personally had a better game on Saturday on the sort of right side of the left-footed Burgess, who I thought looked really good. Got perhaps caught wrong side and gave away the free kick from which Twine scored, but I thought he had a better game. But no, I mean, where I was getting to with that, Edmondson clearly not fit yet. Enciala, if he's going to be back yet, I don't think is fit yet. I think the manager's saying next week for like Edmondson and Chaplin as well. So I don't personally see a lot of change from on Saturday to the starting 11. Personally, I don't think so.
Got it. Rob says first win coming Saturday. I think we can all get behind that one. I hope that's right. Right, you and Dan are going to have an in the know competition here because I know you're gloriously in the know about this Wycombe game, but I won't say how. But Dan says he knows a board member at Wycombe, so he might have just gazumped you yet.
I don't think he's gazumped me, Ben. Do you really? And I don't think I can be gazumped on that, can I? I'm
Joe
not sure
Fairs
I can
can always gazump you, can't he? So as it stands, Dave, the EFL have put out communication today saying that they back Prime Minister Johnson, and he's writing to FIFA and Infantino saying no players on the red list aren't gonna go away. Joe messaged us in our WhatsApp group. We're talking about Daryl Horgan, the ex-Preston winger. So this game could happen, Dave.
Sounds like it. I thought I had it on reasonably good authority, let's say, that it wasn't going to happen. This was a Monday, but obviously, yes, this story's now broken with regard to the red, countries on the red list and players travelling to, from, in and out of countries on the red list. So yeah, that may change. I mean, it's come to something where, do you know what? A game's being called off because Wycombe have got international call-ups. For goodness' sake, no disrespect to Wycombe. No disrespect to Wycombe, who are.
I thought you were very disrespectful, Dave.
Yeah, I know I am, and I know I'll be totally called out for it. Sorry, Wycombe. You're fabulous side, fabulous setup. What I must say, fabulous manager. Good grief.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But no, I never quite thought you'd see the day there. I mean, that's stretching it a little bit, isn't it? But look, so be it. We all know if games have been called off similar before.
Michael says good morning from Brisbane. Michael is probably on about the same sleep pattern as me at the moment, isn't he? Hello, Michael. Lovell Gary, who I assume is called Gary Lovell. Hi, Gary. Any news on Edmondson being ready for the weekend? You don't think so, Dave?
No, I think that came out, and I believe he's had a hamstring. He sort of came, whether he aggravated that in training or whether he's even trained that much since he's been here. I mean, he's been here. He must have been here about a month, I'd have thought. It's only 3 weeks a month. I thought he signed beginning of August, maybe even late July. I think
he was paraded, wasn't he? He was kissing babies and stuff before the Colchester game. So you're right.
Yeah. So I think he's had, from what I understand, he's had a hamstring pull, and we all know this club and hamstring injuries that sometimes you don't see the players again almost. So I think we're sort of keeping him under wraps. And from what I think this has been widely, I think Cook came out and said this, that hopeful that he will be fit for next week.
Interesting. You'd like him against Wycombe as well, wouldn't you? If the game
you would. You would.
I don't think you can. Is Bits trying to tempt you into a bit of both there? You can't answer a bit of both on that one.
Well,
Who
you
is
can't.
better,
I haven't seen enough of Barry. I haven't seen enough
or
of him.
Barry? But on reputation, it's Barry, isn't it?
Of course
In
it is.
terms of,
When it comes from the Prem, and certainly Villa supporting mate of mine is very big on him, and his parting words, or an exchange of emails, I think last week, his parting words to me was, "Look after him."
Yeah, we got a lot of that from the Villa fans. I think they're quite enjoying keeping an eye
Yeah,
out
look,
there.
as far as Dobre is concerned, I mean, well, we get on to Dobre, but yeah.
Next question, actually. Yeah. Well, we do this one first. Alex Turkish. Do you think we need any more signings? I think he agrees on you. You raised central midfield, and another defender. Are we talking a centre half there?
Well, possibly yes. I mean, because we have got two out injured, both with hamstrings, at the moment. So, and I think obviously Corey and Dabber's now gone out on loan to Salford. I don't think he'd have made the step up yet, anyway. So,
no.
Yeah, maybe that does leave us a little bit short. I feel like I said, just to go back, reiterate, I thought Wolfenden was slightly better on Saturday. I know there's not been much confidence in him so far this season, but yeah, possibly that wouldn't be such a bad thing. And I know we're linked with this Polish player earlier on in the week, weren't we? Late or the weekend.
Where from,
Palace.
Dave? I'm so out of the
he's
loop
Palace.
here.
I think he's made. He's
I do remember
on loan
seeing
somewhere
that
from
story,
someone. I think his name is Jack. Yeah, JACH or something. Yeah.
They've just signed Mark Guay and Joachim Andersen. They're doing and sent out Gary Cahill to.
I didn't see that. Where did he go?
Bournemouth. Scott
Okay.
Parker. Yeah. Just before Dave piles in a bit more, follow us on Twitter at Blue Monday FC. Please, ITFC. Excuse me. Please subscribe on YouTube over here. These shows do go down the podcast feed the next day, but of course, it's all about you and your opinions on this one. So we want you here while we're filming, asking questions and setting your agenda. We've also got Instagram, Blue Monday Pod Team, and Facebook as well. And if you're feeling lovely and kind, you can support financially via our PayPal facility, Acast supporter, and you can super chat us right now. Press that little dollar button where you ask your questions and keep those questions coming in. We want it to be all your thoughts here. Right, there you go, Dave. Does Dobre going out on loan mean the club are prepping him for sale? What do you think?
No, I don't necessarily think so. I don't necessarily think that. I still think he's got a part to play. A part to play here. He's just Dobre. It's slightly inconsistent, And he's one of the players came through our academy that you really want to do well, don't you? Really do, and he's got it. I think he's got it. He's just a little bit inconsistent. He just shows it in flashes, doesn't he? But perhaps not enough. Which I suppose you could say about the team as a whole so far this season. But certainly a period out on loan, I don't think will do him any harm at all. I think he had the chance to go somewhere last year. Was it Crawley? And he decided I think he decided to stick around and fight.
Almost worked against him, strangely, didn't it?
Yeah, I think
weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it almost did in the end. To be fair, he did find his way back into the team, but last season.
Yeah,
but,
that was before we signed 15 inside forwards, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really. So I think it can only be good experience for him, and I'll say toughen him up because I think he is got a tough little player, he really is. But yeah, hopefully find that, get some games under his belt and find that perhaps a little bit more consistency because talented boy.
You don't need to answer this from FXT Blues because if I scroll up, when are we actually going to win a game? Rob already answered it. First win coming Saturday. Yeah. I'm just going to keep putting Rob's comment up there for the rest of the stream. That is the answer to all the questions.
I said precisely the same thing this time last week.
It's an interesting take. FPL track. There can't have been many games at Portman Road in the past 5 years. Better games. Enjoyed it. We're getting closer, aren't we? Before you answer that, I can see a super chat has come in. So let's say a big thank you to Dylan, and we'll go to your question next, Dylan. £5.
Thanks very much.
Super chat there. Sorry, whose question has he just gazumped using that word? In terms of the spectacle and the actual fun of it, whilst you and I used to moan about Mick drawing lots of games and Lambert being badly coached.
But it was a fantastic game of football. It really was. The MK played well. I think we played it. I think, again, spoke about this before. We played into their hands with they just love the press. They love taking on the press, and they can beat the press. Clearly, that's what they're all about, and they can just play through it first time. And it just made for a really good game of football. And they could have nicked it at the end. yes, very disappointing that the mistake from Evans led to their equaliser, when I think we're having perhaps probably our best spell. But as a spectacle and entertainment, I'd probably go along with that. It's been one of the most entertaining games for the past 4 or 5 seasons, probably.
Let's go to Dylan's question, and thank you again, Dylan, for the super chat. What's happened to? I assume he's talking about another Dylan Crow. There, what have I got in terms of minutes? Football League Trophy, 2021, played against Crawley and Gillingham. Was it perhaps a lot of hype about Dylan Crow and not a lot back?
I think, well, maybe hype. I mean, I think he played for England age groups pretty much right the way through to the 17s, maybe even 18s. He was away. I don't think quite made 20s. Maybe he did. I don't think he did. I think our good friend Joe Fairs would be the one to answer that one if he's listening.
Yeah, sure. Thank you again for the super chat, Dylan, and we'll get Joe on that. And thank you for the support. MH, will he try squeeze Pigott in versus Wimbledon? Stay with Bayern. I don't know whether MH is talking tactically or players always scoring past their old teams.
Yeah, I thought about that when we said about the team selection a couple of questions back, that maybe Pigott, back against his old club. So, yeah, I mean, Fraser, I'm just thinking where he'd play. Fraser, I thought, did perhaps better in that position, and a good assist, obviously a good assist for the second Bond goal. So he hasn't been rested yet, has he? So, yeah, maybe potentially Pigott back somewhere there for potentially Fraser, but don't know.
Sure. Will, is Wolf underrated or overrated by the fans? Probably both, depending on who you speak to. I saw that tweet as well. League One players, his numbers are coming up good. You know, when some players skew the metrics one way or the other. He's got defensive duels. He's winning 80% of them. Passing accuracy. Yeah. I always do. I'll take the defensive duels one. I always don't pay too much attention to centre halves pass completion, because if you ever saw Scott Parker and Tim Ream and Michael Hector passing the ball to each other 100 times per game. But yeah, to Will's point, where are we on Wolfenden now? I know you spoke about it a little bit earlier.
Again, it's probably another player who perhaps just needs to find that level of consistency. He's got, all defenders have got a mistake, but, still quite young. He's quite an experienced player now, really. He's had certainly a full season here under his belt. He had that really good season away at Swindon, a couple of years back. And perhaps another player a bit like Dobre that just needs to add that consistency and stop. He can be a bit at times, perhaps a bit reckless, and perhaps switch off a little bit. Obviously, he got caught for the for the Morecambe equal. For the Morecambe second goal first day of the season. So, yeah, I think there's a good player there. And again, a bit like Dobre, he's, I know we shouldn't slow sentiment just because he's our player, but you want him to do well. You want him to come through.
But everybody does.
I just want to say came through our academy. You want him to do, you want him to do well.
Andrew stitched me up here. I've just been looking away. If you had to buy another goalkeeper, which one would it be? On the basis that it's been championship players, I was just racking my brain through players that were playing in the championship but maybe aren't in the first team, as Morosi for Coventry. And then I'm just looking at Preston. Do you remember Ripley, who was on loan at Accrington Stanley from Middlesbrough when we lost to them? He's like on their books, and they've got Iverson from Leicester. So knowing the Ashton shopping model, it would likely be a championship goalkeeper. That seems to be the one area they dropped down to League Two. But difficult one, Andrew, without any prep, that one. But I tried. Josh, do you think we'll make another signing before the window shuts?
Yeah.
Nailed on, Dave?
I think so. Wouldn't be surprised if we had another couple in. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, if the right player. Well, we spoke earlier on in our WhatsApp earlier on. There's one Jack Wiltshire available. We'll do.
Simon, how did we sign Edwards in League One? Simon, I'm sure you're hearing a lot of rumours. We're all hearing them. Ipswich are paying very high salaries this year, and it's annoying lots of people. I
think it is solely down to that. I honestly do. But enjoy. So what I would say, Simon, the way he's going, just enjoy him while you can.
One real specific answer to that is Jaden Anthony who's a young left winger at Bournemouth, is very good. And they sold Danjuma off to Villarreal. We've still got Stanislas and David Brooks, so not exactly short of wingers there. And Parker liked Edwards on trial at Bournemouth, but like you said about Wolfenden, if you've got a young lad, and he looks really good, Jaden Anthony, so they've just gone with him, and then presumably when Stanislas gets a bit more.
I haven't seen such an exciting player at Ipswich for a long, long time.
Don't do it, Dave. Don't do it. You're getting
I know.
You're
in love with a winger. I know, with a wide player. Probably going back to the early days of, oh no, I shouldn't say it, Ryan Fraser before he got injured. But anyway, we'll stop there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. DD best mates with Akinfenwa. I think we can confirm that. DD has played golf with Akinfenwa. Actually, Gareth Ainsworth, apparently. So I've seen them out clubbing together. I think we can. How do
people know that? How do people even know that? I can't believe that. How does that get out? I haven't posted anything on my social media. I never post on my social media, so there's nothing out on there. I don't know how people know that.
There you go, Dave. Morecambe v Crew has been called off during international.
No, period. You are. Oh, no.
I don't know whether that's true. I just
that can't be. Oh, that's a wind up.
Sometimes the allegations will be false. Always get one in. Lord Ronald, how irritating is Cook's position on injury updates? Not wanting to give the opposition any intel isn't helping us any, and it's hurting his PR plenty. Is it?
Well, he is a bit sparse with his feedback on injuries, isn't he?
Sparse.
Sparse, scarce feedback. It's it would seem that, I heard from another party with regard to.
Oh, here he is with his sources again.
With regard to Edmonton.
With Akinfenwa.
Yeah, Ainsworth. But it's. So Edmonton's been out, and I don't think they've mentioned it that it has been what the injury has been. I sort of found that out from a third party, but anyway, there you go.
Interesting. M. Nichols.
Intrigue.
That's a good question, isn't it? You could argue both on that very easily. More game time, so go ahead, go to Wickham, go and face Vokes and McCleary and Jacobson and all those boys, or another week on the training. We've had a week on the training ground a few times, so I'm kind of play now. But I would understand if you turned around and said training pitch, Dave.
No. I think it is with this question. It is both, because we'd have had them, due to our early exit out of the EFL. So we've had a clear week this week, and we've got another clear week next week into Wickham. So yeah, the players should be chomping at the bit, wanting to play, because it's not Saturday, Tuesday, is it?
There you go. I'll take this one, Dave, because I've got all the fixtures in. Have any opposition so far surprised you? MK, no, we knew they were going to play like that. Cheltenham, no, we knew all about the long throws. Burton, no, we knew they were a good side from last season. I suppose Morecambe was the most surprised. They were better than we all thought they were going to be. Let's be honest about it. Yeah.
Yeah, with the impressive striker who's continued to score, hasn't he?
Cole Stockton. The Georgian Theatre, Stockton.
Burley Stockton.
Electric Copper. Too much pressure on the impact of Edmondson coming into the 11, resolving issues across the pitch. Is that a question? There's a question mark at the end of it, but I'm not sure that's worded in such a... shall I say, is there too much pressure on there? Can Edmondson be a bit of a catch-all? Sometimes it can be. One player goes in and it just stabilises.
Yeah,
we hope so.
I don't think saying you can't hang your hat on that one. I don't think he's going to come back in. You don't want to rush him. Okay, you'd hope that this delay in seeing him, that he's been reasonably fit and in training now for a good few days now. So you can't rush. If it is hamstring, you can't rush stuff like that. But yeah, I think it will just be interesting. Certainly Burgess, the other centre back, the left-sided centre back, I thought was made an impact. But certainly the two games I'm seeing, I thought he's a good player there, and I'd have thought future potential captain there. So yeah, it would be interesting to see how when and if he comes in, and how he slots in alongside him.
Keep your questions coming, guys. I will get to them. I'm scrolling down. I don't want to miss anybody out. Dave, we've been quite consistent on this throughout the duration of the pod. Let's get the message out, guys. No booing. We do accept. We've always said people have freedom of speech. They can boo if they want. We've always said it may not be the most helpful thing you can do, but you're more than entitled to do it if you want to, as long as there's blah, 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 hate speech, personal insults we don't like. But if you want to boo and you think that's helpful, fine. I wouldn't do it, but That's normally been our position on it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Dave, here's Mullet. Watcher, lads. I like that. Have you discussed the lovely shapes? Do you know what? We were actually discussing, Jack Wilshere came up. We were discussing his lovely shapes, and he was a beautifully balanced player, wasn't he?
Makes a good shape.
Do you know what? I'm so out of it with the childbirth and all of that stuff. I've not seen Raheem Harper in a Town shirt yet. Does he make good shapes, though?
I'd describe him as silky. Do you know what? At times, some of the shapes he does make reminds me of a young, and I'm not overhyping because obviously, not a young Patrick Vieira. Seriously, he's that type of quite a tall lad, quite lithe, very athletic. Again, I thought he was outstanding first half. When, as a few of them did, went a bit missing second half on Saturday. But yeah, he's going to be really good. He's only 21, for God's sake. He just looks big lad. Yeah, he can play. I mean, looking forward to seeing him. And I think he was a player. I think Craig identify him after the first pre-season friendly, saying he's going to be my player of the season. I think it might have been after the warm-up, Craig.
He's already filled his format.
He's going to be my player of the season, and I can see why he said that. Yeah, he looks easy on the eye. I think is Mullet. I think is the. It was sorry.
It was Mullet.
That was Mullet. Yeah.
FPL Trade will be interested in Ben's views on Adrian Mariappa, still a free agent, I believe. So the obvious link is Mark Ashton signed Adrian Mariappa at Bristol City last season. Obviously, at Championship level, Mariappa's been around, and it's a little bit like blah. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't match the profile of signing that we've made so far, but perhaps at the end of the window, if you wanted someone in, probably play fullback either side, couldn't you? Probably shift him further up left. Would fill out the squad, but
a lot of experience, Ben. Of experience
true. So it's just with all of these glorious, someone like Chaplin, who's Championship Player of the Month, and then do you know what I mean? They've set the bar quite high, Dave.
I mentioned him on the pod a couple of weeks back, and I did sort of have a look back, and I think he played about 20 odd games, I think, for Bristol City last season. I think he did.
Dave, they were absolutely sharp at injury wise last year. They got Jay Da Silva, who used to play for Chelsea, who's a good, good left back.
Yeah. Do you see them doing okay this season?
No, they're finishing the bottom 8, I reckon. And I think Pearson might lose his SHIT at some point as well. So you'll fun quite amusing.
It's always good value, isn't
it? Dave's already answered that. Do you think there'll be another signing this season? I think if you mean this window. I think so. Even if it's not another crazy kind of Chaplin type thing, but maybe a Mariappa type.
If we're not there or thereabouts in January, I think there could be another 17.
Stop it, Rob. Rob Hughes. Will Carroll get a start on Saturday? If so, who drops out? Evans seems to play out of touch, but will Cook stay loyal to him? Can I raise the idea of if you are struggling the way we are at the moment in central midfield, just take the number 10 out or have a number 8 who and drop in 3 central midfielders. Dave, you like that?
Yeah, I do like that a lot. Yeah, I don't see him dropping out. I mean, again, they're rested. So rested Piggott. Piggott dropped out. Evans is his captain for the time being. Do I see him dropping out Saturday? No, I think he'll stay pretty loyal. As he did, to be fair, it'd have been easy for him to sort of shuffle things around last Saturday and leave out Macaulay Bonne. Not that he had a particularly bad game at Cheltenham, but obviously for the hangover for the miss, which was quite bad, but stuck with him, and look what happened there. So I don't see Evans dropping out just yet, especially as his captain also.
Macaulay Bonne, firing us to Simon, firing us to promotion is the perfect fairy tale. Well, Can I parlay that? 3 goals already, Dave. We assume he's going to get double figures. At what point does he reach double figures?
Well, 3, and obviously should be 4.
Stop it.
Could have been 5. He's very unlucky with one Saturday. Do you know what I like about Bonne? He's that type of forward. He plays between the posts. You can tell he's a goal scorer. From what I've seen of him so far, very, very rarely does he step outside of that, between the posts, as they say. Well, that'd be brilliant. Local Chantry lad comes back on loan to fire us to promotion. That would be a fairy tale, wouldn't it? Superb. Good player. Good, really good player. And the quality of the 2 finishes on Saturday, absolutely outstanding, because let's put the first one to one side. The finish for the second one was brilliant also.
We are coming up the half hour, so I'm going to rattle through a few of these. Penny or Coulson at left back DD? One word answer.
Penny, but it'll be Coulson.
Do you ever watch The Big Bang Theory where he knocks on a Penny?
Oh, Sheldon
Penny.
and Sheldon. Yeah.
Every time I hear that, Penny. Hi, NFFC Owen, who's probably Forest fan, only one who's got it worse than Ipswich at the moment. Hey,
wow, yeah, my God.
Yeah. Pete, I was at Wembley in '78, Amsterdam in '81, moved up to the northwest, and told my kids 20 years ago wanted to support Liverpool. The glory days are just around the corner. Am I a bad father? You absolutely are, Pete. That's
awful.
That's social services should have got involved.
Childline.
Although the Blue Monday pod team did send me a Ipswich Town sleep suit for my daughter, so I may be an equally bad father when she fits into that. So right, Michael. Do you know what? Can I parlay this into another question? So Michael's asking about a sort of 3-4-3. So is Mark as well. I've mentioned, could you tweak it back and get an extra body in central midfield as well? We know how wedded Paul Cook is to this 4-2-3-1, but you know what it's like, Dave. You've seen I always end up bringing Bielsa. Don't bring Bielsa up, don't I? But if the midfielder is constantly between the two centre halves receiving the ball and the wing backs forward, it looks like a back three and two wing backs anyway, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm going round the houses to say, if the results keep going bad, does he stubbornly stick to 4-2-3-1, or do we see extra midfielder? Because let's be honest, it'll be 4-3-3, or it'll be a 3 at the back, won't it? You're not going to get your 2 up top, Dave.
What was that? What was your old definition of insanity, Ben?
Yeah, that's who is that? Is it Einstein? Keep on doing the same thing and expecting this. Oh, I don't know what it is. The same,
expecting a different result. Same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Does Ben wish Lambert was still manager? It would be great to get 2 hours kipping, 3 to 5. It's appalling. FPL track.
Like that.
Oh dear. Would QPR be willing to sell Bond next summer? I absolutely think they would, Dave.
Do you think?
Yeah. They got Lyndon Dykes.
They got
Charlie Austin.
Yeah.
Chris Willock as.
Oh, of course. Willock as well.
Yeah, they got some decent attacking players, and you know.
Yeah.
Any more, Chris? Great to have the team back together, lads. Well, we're just part of the team now, but
just
always
part
good
of the team. I know it's gone a bit old school tonight, haven't we? Old school.
This is going to keep coming up, Dave, isn't it? Is Paul Cook struggling without an experienced assistant manager? I do a show on my channel with a Norwich journalist and tried to argue back against it the other week, and I can't yet. So until he starts winning, we cannot debunk the theory that he struggles. Do you know what I'm saying, Dave?
And with Norwich, it was always the old Lambert Culverhouse scenario.
It's so frustrating, Dave, because it's such an easy argument to make, but impossible to prove and impossible to disprove.
Right, is it this moment in time? You can't knock it. Sorry, Benny's won 4 games out of 21. So okay, even if you can't really discount last season. Right, last season was it's a free hit for him. He's won 4 games out of 21. So you certainly can't. You can't just poo-poo that idea at the moment.
Speaking of poo-poo, that's a great seg, Dave. Zach bought
an Ipswich
sleep suit, and his daughter promptly ruined it during its first outing during the games. Zach, you don't need to give me the Grizzly. That's welcome to my life every hour at the moment. But it's glorious, isn't it?
Brilliant, mate.
Dylan, who's more likely to score this season, Norwood or Jackson? Surely it's Norwood, isn't it?
I would certainly think so. If it's Jackson, we've had a horrific injury run.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone before the window closes, won't he?
I think so. Wouldn't someone will take a punt on him? You'd think.
I would think so. There we go. Right. Thank you, everybody. That has been. Yeah, we try and get it quickly through. Answer as many of your questions as possible. If you want to shout out, stick it in there now. We'll give you a shout out before we get off. God, I don't even know what day it is.
Wednesday.
So there'll be a Wednesday. There'll be a podcast at the weekend. Are you on it, Dave?
I think I am, because I'm then disappearing on holiday for a couple of weeks as from the end of next week. So yeah, I think I am on Sunday. Not sure who with.
I suspect I'll be back midweek next week. Hopefully, we'll be able to reflect on
Glorious.
a victory. And look, just one goal in the net against us this week would be an improvement, wouldn't it? Right, let's give Nick a shout out there. David, great chat with you and Hodge. He's an ex-Norwich commentator. I always try and wind him up. I didn't get a rise out of him the other day.
When you say Norwich commentator, what, Radio
it
Norfolk?
was about 15, 16, I think he did it, Scottish lad. Good guy. Preview show on Friday. Yes, Chris Richardson and Seb will be here with the preview show.
That quality.
On
Friday.
Clairvoyant
Rich, you mean, don't you? He's had it
Stop
pretty much bang on every week.
Stop being right, yeah. Dan, well done, lads. Great stuff. Give me a shout out at the Cricket Fella. I'm on Kings of Anglia podcast. We don't have podcast rivals, do we, Dave? In the words of Michael Jackson, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Come one, come all. Different podcasts for different needs. There we go.
Needs.
FPL Tractor. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
It's Thursday here. Can we start an hour late? I don't know. We will see. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Say goodbye, David.
Cheers, Ben. Bye, everyone. Enjoyed that. Thank you.
And then all of that stuff, preview show, podcast, and we'll be back next. Loads of content, loads of goals in our own net, and hopefully a win maybe next week. See you later, everybody.
Bye.